Okay, so we've already done a bunch of functions here in this color brightness. Right in our helpers function here, we've got that constrain function, the calc brightness, the update color function, all these parameters, return values here. This one didn't use a return value, just updated the page, right? And I'm hoping that we can reuse these functions or maybe make something new, because I want to basically repeat all of this with multiple colors, right? I want to have another, maybe 2 more rows here. Let's do that. So let's go to our HTML first, and I'm going to copy and paste these paragraphs, and we're going to change, oh yeah, see, I'm going to change this to R1 in, G1 in, B1 in, preview 1, and bright 1, and we'll change this to R2 in, G2, B2, preview 2, and bright 2, and of course R3, and update all of these with the 3 as well. Okay, and they can all be initialized to 0, 0, 0 for black, that's fine. Okay, we'll save that, and there we go. Okay, and now my code, of course, won't work now. And that's because I changed the ID, and right here we need to change the IDs. R1, G1, B1, bright 1, and preview 1. And maybe this is where we can start. I'm not going to do a function for this. I'm just going to copy and paste all of this and change all of these things to 2s. And then 3s on the next one, of course. I could try doing like a find replace, but I think it might be, actually that might have worked well. Let's try this. I'm going to hit Control D, and it's going to select all these 1s, and we'll replace it with a 3. Okay, awesome. So this stuff, I think, let's just keep this so that we have all these elements that are now these different HTML elements, right? For first color, second color, third color. And then, you know what I'm kind of thinking is that I basically want to repeat all of this for R2 and R3, all of this for, you know, R2, G2, B3, etc., all this for those colors. So I'm tempted to actually put all of this into another function, and the button click function is just going to do 3 function calls. That's crazy. Okay, how do we do this? Let's go to our helpers. And we'll go down here. Oh, and I was bad here. I should update color data onto the page. Okay, so let's do a function, and let's just call it process color. And it's going to take in the R element, the G element, and the B element, the preview element, and the bright element. Okay, I think that's like for each of these things, I've got these RGB input elements, the bright element and the preview element. Those are the different things that I'll require for each color. So those will be my parameters. Okay, that sounds good. Now I'm going to take all of this, gonna cut it, and paste it into here. And now we got to get rid of all of these 1s, because this is just going to be the R element, the G element, and the B element. And I can just store those into RGBs. We're going to constrain this, but here we just need the R element. This can be constrained, and again, none of this 1 stuff, just the elements. And then my brightness will just be calc brightness with the RGBs that we've calculated or got from the input values and constrained. The bright element, whichever one gets passed in, will be assigned whatever this brightness is. And then we call the update color with RGB and the preview element and the brightness. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, process color. I just need those different elements. All right. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. We'll save that. And now inside of the sad button clicked function, actually he's not going to be sad. This is the big boss. He's like, I don't want to do that much work. I'm going to ask my right-hand man to do the process color, and I'm going to pass in the R1 element, the G1 or G in 1 element, the B in 1 element. Then I need the preview 1 element and the bright 1 element. Right, those are the parameters that I need for this function. RGB preview bright. RGB preview bright. Awesome. And copy and paste. And we just need to find these 1s and replace them with 2s. Just hitting Control D there. So Control D to select those and pass in 3s. Cool. So this button clicked, and I don't recommend always doing this, but in this case, I think it fits in this program, right? Get all these these elements that I need to work with, pass them into this process color function, and I really hope this works. So yeah, this will be for the first color. The R element will be the R1 element, right? So to get the values of that. Then the next time they call it will be the R2 element, and then the R3 element. All right, let's try. So let's just go 120 or 12 because I didn't type it properly. And let's test the constraining on that one. We'll go -50, 120, and 55, and then like 30, 30, 30, something like that. All right, moment of truth. Bam. Okay, 12, 180, 255. Brightness 163, looks good. 0, 120, 55. 0, 120, 55. Brightness that. Yeah, and it did the constraining values. Looks good. The only thing is the style doesn't look as good, but otherwise the functionality is awesome. And the reason the style doesn't look good is just because we changed the IDs here. Oh yeah, this one here. So I have to go preview 1, preview 2, preview 3, and that'll select the 3 elements and style them better. Okay, cool. All right, so hopefully you can see this idea that our functions, right, we're breaking up our program into functions that do specific jobs, right? The constrain function's job was to constrain a value between a low and a high limit. The calc brightness jobs was to take in the RGBs and calculate and return the brightness. The update color basically updated the page to display the color. The process color did all the work at getting the inputs, calling the constrain function, calculating the brightness, and updating the color. But it didn't do, it's like a sub-boss, right? It didn't do all the work itself. It used the constrain function, the calc brightness function, the update color function. And then in here, the button clicked was the big boss that said, hey, buddy, process color buddy, do your work for the first color, the second color, and the third color. All right, so we're breaking our code up into those logical chunks. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.